Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. Now, as you can tell by the title and the very well obvious background, this is yet another pre-existing structure build. Now, in this one we are in the Cranberry Bog, as you can probably tell by the background and the colour really. This is just southeast of the Big Ben Tunnel East and southwest of Watoga train station. This was probably amongst the most difficult one I've tried to do, including the first one I did months ago, because the house is on a different angle to the rest of the floor, so you can't actually merge existing wooden floors to this house. So you will see later on how I've tried to overcome that and add a more like scrappy work in progress kind of build. Now the idea for this one is a campground that's kind of been abandoned in a way. People still come here, but it's more like resources have had to go elsewhere because, you know, this place is in the Cranberry Bog, very dangerous, so people kind of stop here, move on to the next one, as you can tell by the campground on the right. Now, one of the most difficult elements of building here is the trenches and the little mudslides you can see of lying around Cranberry Bog, and a lot of these embankments, as you can see the shed is on here, don't really allow a shack foundation to clip through. So I tried to create a way around that, you know, a realistic way around it anyway. So it's not a 13-foot long fence, it's instead, as you can see in the background here, a little guard post and a little chair as well, so that way we can watch people running down or walking down the trenches, and it's also a pretty easy way to get out of the camp. Now you see here a little tease to the medical shack. Now this is a little, well, reference to the previous one. The first ever one I actually did was very similar to this. It was multi-tiered with a bed in the back and a chair just for people who need the aid. They can rest well, and then they can either stay there, earn the keep, or they can keep on travelling. Now these two shacks were amongst the easiest ones to do, primarily because I built the shacks first and then built the house last, because you can spend days building a house only for it to be quite meh. So the idea for this one is build the shacks first, then go for the house last, so that way I can create a story around the house as the house is being developed. Now the windmill in the camp is already there, and it's a shame we can't put it in the camp as itself as an object, because it's really good, it's really interesting to build with. There's a lot of things you can do. I didn't experiment with it in this video because I wanted to look realistic. Now the windmill itself doesn't have the mechanism to actually turn around, so it is quite lackluster in that way. You'll see here the farmable dirt tiles, which are from the Wastelanders DLC. If you do have them, let me know your thoughts below. I personally probably one of the most used floors I actually have now, because they sink so well into the ground and it looks like a little mudslide has gone on. Especially when you're planting vegetables, you need to like dig through the ground to make sure it's flat and smooth, so you're not going to disrupt any of your vegetables growing. You will notice a few merged items as well, such as the suitcase on the table to your right, along with the fire barrel in the scene prior. Now that is actually a video from Decoy's Dungeon, who I will put in the description below, and it is a little bit finicky at first, but once you find the sweet spot, it is nice to kind of go back to and gauge the height. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. If you did, put a thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated, and I will catch you all soon.